and they just go with that.
Yeah, no. When you played that stupid ass, when you sent me that stupid ass song, I was like, yo, like I played that shit at work. Like I let somebody hear that shit at work. I was like, yo, so a friend of mine sent me this stupid ass song about fucking his boss in his ass and some.
So
other
wait a
shit.
minute. You didn't know at all, like so the whole time you're listening to it, it didn't even click.
It was some white people shit.
It didn't even click.
I thought it was some white people shit. I'm not lying to you, bro. I really I was like.
Just so everybody gets kind of a picture out there, one of the lines is, you can look him up, Wheeler Walker Jr. I can't remember his name. His real name's like Benjamin something. But he parodies a lot of country music, and he just plays on a lot of the redneck tropes. But one of the things that he says on the song called Redneck Shit, he says something like he's kicks the door in on his mother while she's trying to take a shit. Fucks her cousin in the asshole. Then he finishes on her tits.
Yo, yeah, he said something like, but he said something about I had to suck my boss's dick, and I was like, "Yep, I'm out. Fuck this shit."
That's why I'm mad with it. With it. That's why I'm mad with it. Straight out the trap with it. Whatever you want, whatever you need, it's on tab. Get it. That's why I'm mad with it. That's why I'm mad with it. That's where I'm at. Okay. Chasing clout, oh no way, your shit turn.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Time to Get in Trouble podcast. It's your boy Eddie Liles. Terrance G is in the building. Lloyd Lee is on his way very soon. Very soon. Fucking yeah, I think we gotta talk. We gotta wait till Lloyd till we talk about, you know what I'm saying, this world of comedy that's happening right now, everything that's happening in comedy. Yeah, but since we with the military guy himself, they can't give us too much shit. We with the vet himself. Yo, your boy Biden, son. My nigga said, "Hey, son, I'm done. I'm done, son. I'm done, son. We out."
He did.
And then the Taliban came back. Where the fuck did the Taliban come from, son? Like, I thought they were done. I thought they were gone.
No. So this is one of those weird areas where it's like I have to tread lightly because I don't know what I can and can't say. Right. So it's like they played it well. They being the Taliban.
Oh, they took over.
They played it well because they not only had the resolve, they not only maintained the posturing and the positioning that they needed at key points, they maintained the network that they needed to continue their funding, to do the things that they needed to attack.
And they just did it all underneath.
Right. And so on top of that, the smartest thing that they did, the smartest play that they did was
was help people get on that airplane base. That was the smartest thing they did.
Man,
yo, what the fuck?
Bro. That's like when they took off that way, right? You're like, you see people kind of already like hanging on to it, and you're like, I don't think that's going to work out the way you think it does.
Bro, hold on. Like, nigga, like, sorry for everybody to die.
C-17.
So let's start with sorry for everybody to die. Nigga, did y'all think this was Mission Impossible? Like,
I'm saying, like, I don't know where
these niggas are Tom Cruising it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's so bad? It's so bad. They're like, well, I'm going to take my chances on gravity than take my chances at staying here.
Obviously.
I think in some ways, right?
Yeah, obviously.
It
had to be that bad.
I'm gonna take this chance. That's not good.
Like, yeah.
No, I don't see how you jump. Like, never mind. Like, dog, you do understand that you freeze like, down there, right? If you hang on the outside of a window like that, you will freeze, homie. So at some point, you're going down anyway. Yeah, you lose oxygen. Like, bruh. So they was trying to get out of there like shit.
You don't just hang out at 35,000 feet
for fun
and like physically exert yourself for 14 hours.
And aren't you still? Are they going like 300 miles per hour or some dumbass shit on the plane?
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
Yeah,
bro, hold on. I'm sorry, yo. Biden literally was just like, yeah, we did it. And I still stick by. Look, we didn't think they were gonna come. that fast. But like, he was like, we didn't think it was going. Listen, listen. I'm looking at the news, and then I was like, I gotta watch 13 Hours now. Like, I didn't even want to give a fuck about that movie. It's the Benghazi movie that Michael Bay directed. Didn't give a fuck about that movie. Like, then I was like, oh shit. Well, let me see how this is most likely going to go down. Like, son.
I mean, right now I'm listening to audiobooks, and I'm listening to like one about the West and the Navajo and all this, like how the West was won. But now that like this is going on, it's like I should probably figure out what's going on currently in the Middle East and see how like all of this has transpired, because I know nothing about it.
I recommend for both of you, if you are interested, a author named Dalton Fury. There's a book out there called Kill Bin Laden.
Kill Bin Laden.
Correct. Now, what you'll notice is it'll say Kill Bin Laden. Yep.
Is that 2 words? Is that 2 words?
Dalton Fury.
Does it work?
It's called Kill Bin Laden. And,
we listen. Tell us more.
Well, you'll notice the little disparity on there is it was published in 2008, right? Bin Laden wasn't killed until 2011, if memory serves you correct, right? So then you go back and you look, why is that published in 2008? And he's talking about Kill Bin Laden. It's from the previous World Trade Center bombing that people still kind of forget about. Because people forget about the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, where like, 4 people died, but several thousand were injured.
They didn't know what the fuck they was doing. That was like their first fight. Like, then they like drive a car into it or some shit like that.
They keep on blanking out Biggie's song. I mean, if they didn't blank that out, then people would be more World Trade.
Notorious.
Yeah, that
like
actually,
the World Trade.
Yep.
Bomb Center.
Yep.
But it was of a winner. But either way, like it was only a car though, right? It wasn't the first.
Yeah,
like,
it was a rider van. It was a rider van,
right.
If memory serves me correct. They drove, and what's crazy is like if he would have parked it like several feet in another direction, they would have done all the damage they wanted to do, but they just didn't do it. Because originally their plan was to blow up the one tower, have it collapse in the other one, and go based on where the explosion was. But they parked in the wrong spot and just blew a big ass hole in the parking garage at the bottom.
Damn.
Yeah.
So was it kind of like Oklahoma City, kind of like that, or was it?
As far as like some of the setup, sure. As far as I remember, but there was a lot of anti-American sentiment from some Middle Eastern gentlemen. Because at that time, it was about our involvement in dealings with Israel. So they basically said, stop interfering in Israel. Get the fuck out. We're sick of your shit. Fuck your mama. Fuck your mama. Fuck your mama. You want to know one of the most disrespectful things you can say to a Pakistani man or somebody in the Middle East? A fart to your beard. A fart to your beard. I'm not making that up. That's not, hey, this is funny. I mean, it's kind of funny, right? Like imagine going to a bar, like I walk up to somebody like Eddie or Lloyd, and you guys are sitting there, and the first thing I do to insult you is I walk up and I just say, hey, a fart to your beard. And then you're like, word? It's like that, and we start throwing hands.
Not me. I was
gonna say I'm not fighting nobody because they said they were farting on my beard. First off, how is that an insult? Now, if you actually farted on my beard, there's a lot more questions that need to be asked.
They look at their beards and facial hair.
Your ass.
It's a symbol of their manhood. It's a symbol of their virility.
The opening get so close to your facial.
Yeah, you just let his ass get by your face, and then he farted on you. Like you gotta.
I mean, that's definitely one way to do it.
That's very sus.
There's definitely one way to do it.
My God.
There's definitely a lot of lead up time. Like you have a lot of questions in that lead up time to get there.
Well, what would you call that? Like, would you just call somebody and
that's like the whitest insult ever. Yo, I'll fight your bid, son. Keep playing with me, bro.
So
I will fight your beard.
I will fight your beard.
That's like the most childish thing. Like you're on like a playground or something. Yeah, well,
not even your sideburns. Not even your sideburns. Your full facial beard, sir.
Part to your beard.
Pink eye. So, I'm going to literally avoid giving you pink eye.
What if
requires antibiotics?
What movie was that? Where they kept giving each other pink eye because they kept farting on each other's pillows? Dude. It was of course, it's a white movie, but it was fucking. What movie was it? It was with Seth Rogen. And I think like he was having somebody's. he got some chick impregnated on the first night. Knocked up, and they kept farting on each other's pillows, and they kept getting. I had pink out one time. It's not that fun. I'm not gonna lie to you.
How do you explain?
I mean, maybe people are into farting on the beard. You know, like maybe that's a service that somebody provides as well. You know, like
how did that become an that means that they watched somebody's movie and it fucked up somehow. How the fuck does fart on their beard?
Their beard and facial hair is all like a symbol of their manhood. Like I got a rock hard dick. Like I'm a man. Like certain parts, like Saudi's all about a mustache, but like Pakistan, Afghanistan, another few of the stands, beard. You gotta have the beard. You fart to your beard is like.
So what you're trying to tell me is that we just want to beat the Taliban. Just put 100 farts in the airplane.
Why haven't we done that? Why hasn't that been our strategy?
We farted on your beard, bitches.
That's fine. We've been farting in yours this whole time, and you just haven't figured out what we're
literally
trying to say.
Just drop off little boxes all over the country, right? And then when it opens up, consider your beard farted on.
Real shit. All right. So what was the deal, right? Like they had planned to move out of Afghanistan for like the last week. Well, no, because Obama wanted to move out of Afghanistan, correct. And then they gave him pushback. Then Trump tried to move out of Afghanistan, and then they gave him pushback. Correct. And then Biden was just like, all right, son, I'm not doing this shit with y'all niggas. Like, we out.
Yeah, I think it was the politically popular move based on people's sentiment at the particular time, and then some people saw the ramifications. And that's why I said the Taliban played this as smart as they could, because not only did they maintain the resolve, they established the foundation to set themselves up as a legitimate political party.
Right.
And in the process of that, we're now here. Like 6 days. I think it's a pretty fucking sobering thing, right? Like me and one of my buddies was talking about it. Service member and everything. Shout out to him. He'll remain unnamed. We should there talk about it. It's pretty fucking telling that 2 decades after the 9/11 attacks, the Taliban flag will be the one that flies at the capital of Afghanistan in Kabul.
So they took over the whole country, literally?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. And provinces and everything. Like it's, and that's the crazy thing, right? Is
so that means they've been around for a minute. They was like hiding in the shadows, like
never been gone.
Yeah, but I thought they turned into something. I thought they turned into ISIS. I thought that's what we were supposed to be scared of. It's fucking ISIS and shit. And then you tell me the Taliban, the niggas that like, you know what I'm saying, made a Biggie song, back out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like that's why I say like America needs to quit the bullshit. Stop fighting ideologies, right? You ain't gonna fucking win. War on terror, we see how that went. War on drugs, we see how that shit's going. Like war on poverty, we see how that's going. Like what? Stop fighting ideas, yo. Like you need to be like, oh, that's the dude we hate. Okay, thump. That's it. We're out. We're not gonna try and sit here and be like, oh, hey, people that really look at tribes. You know, you want a president? You want a white president?
But damn, that's sad.
It is, bro. Like that's the thing is, you think about the translators over the last couple of decades. You think about the anguish and everything they're going through because now they're political targets and nobody's there to provide them asylum now. You have their families also political targets. Nobody's there to provide them now. Like basically like America just pulled a deadbeat dad on these motherfuckers, was like, oh, hey, I got you, but I dropped you off in the middle of the hood and I'm out, deuce. What the fuck, America? Like, and that's just the tip. Fuck, that's just the tip. But
hey, that's what she said. That's what I said.
See how it feels.
Let me just put tipping, baby.
Just the tip, baby. Just that, baby.
I'm all tip.
This shit, like, literally, I swear to you, bro. Like, I literally was. I kept seeing these fucking, like, you know what I'm saying, movie flyers for 13 hours. All right, I kept seeing the shit, and then I was like, man, what the fuck is this? I don't want to watch this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It looked like the dude from Well, it didn't look. It was the dude from Jack Ryan.
Mm-hmm. The Office. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, he's like a suit. Like he's cut the shit now. Like he got whatever workout that I need to jump on, and fucking him and
any workout.
Lloyd, because you got your shoulders hidden. Now you want to make fun of people, motherfucker.
Correct.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. No. So like, yeah. So suppose he got it. Fucking dickhead.
Correct.
No. So he. I kept seeing a poster for him, and I was like, "What the fuck is this movie?" Like, I didn't give a fuck. Then today happens, and I'm just scrolling. That joint is at the top of my fucking thread, literally.
Because you're like, oh, how's this embassy shit about to go down? Are they about to evacuate people? Like, are they about to, what the fuck is about to happen?
Because that was the thing, like, right? Biden was like, hey, we ain't gonna have that bullshit that y'all had back in, you know what I'm saying, in 2012. You know what I'm saying? This is 21, you know what I'm saying, baby? And then, like, a couple hours later, he was just like, yeah, so look, that might happen.
Ejectocito, cuz.
So politically, like, I got my PP smacked.
Nigga, you was in the club, like, bitch, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you. I don't know what happened, baby. Like,
I'm different. No, we the same.
Nah, we definitely the same, yo.
It don't normally happen like this.
But nah, fucking yeah, hearts goes out to everybody in Afghanistan, but back home, everything is a lot. Like in the comedy community, we had, and if anybody doesn't know, RIP to Nick Carthen, and as well as respects to Tony Baker's family and his son. So we had two different deaths in the comedy community this weekend, over the weekend. So actually on the same day, right?
No.
Was it not? Tony Baker's son was when? Friday?
Tony Baker's son
was in the week somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then so Tony Baker's son and his girlfriend are in a car. Somebody's having a fucking race, runs down the street, crashes into him. Fucks it. Yeah. Takes his kid's life away. And then over the weekend, Nick Carthen dies out of LA. Of a heart attack. After like what Lloyd, you said he put up a video like the day before, right?
Yep.
Or some shit. And it's like,
him. I knew him when I first started doing comedy, and him and his wife, or wife then, ex-wife now, but my heart goes out to them. And it's just like one of those things where you just sit there, he's 40 years old, I'm 40, and out like a light, heart attack. Nobody saw it coming, so it fucked me up pretty good.
No, dude, and the fucked up part was like, and I told a friend this, I was like, I didn't know Nick like that. You know what I mean? I really didn't know him. Like, we were supposed to have him on the podcast. And I was like, I'm literally sitting in Jersey at the DJ Envy's car show. So we're sitting in Jersey, DJ Envy car show. 95 had all this stupid, like somebody jumped off a bridge here in Delaware or something like that. So they shut down the bridge. So we got to drop. So a 2-hour trip takes me 4 hours. So I'm already out of it. You know what I mean? And then I hear that news and I'm really fucking like, what the fuck, bro? Because the only thing that went through my head was, I guess I was already pissed off about this. I mean, about the bridge shit. But the only thing that went through my head is like, dog, he died at 40, like out of nowhere.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we do this job in hopes. And I don't think, like, and I was talking to a friend about this. A lot of people don't understand that shit. Like, our job is a lot of hopes and dreams and aspirations that rarely get fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? By the majority of people in our industry. So, like, what if, you know what I'm saying, I'm destined for the same fate of doing this shit for a couple years, and then the only thing that I'm remembered for really is a death. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, that shit is deep, bro. Like, that shit hits hard.
It is deep. It is deep. And like, we've been podcasting. I'm personally coming up on a year in November of doing this podcast, but I've known you a little bit longer than that. And like I said, even though we were close in proximity, we didn't establish a close relationship like Loy and I did. It kind of came about through the internet, through Facebook, before the podcast, and the podcast sort of solidified that, right?
Right.
So I say all that to say, like, we're pretty cool at this point. And I give you all kinds of shit about being overweight, but goddamn it, Eddie, if that's not a wake-up call, my guy, Like,
no, because Nick was in shape, my dude.
I understand
this wasn't
that.
Leonard Oops,
but you
like,
are
I understand.
You can get it,
and that's
you can get
that's exactly. Lloyd hits the shit on the head, man. Like, that's something I am passionate about, bro. Like, it's something that I think is within people's control. It gets out of control easy, and all that shit. I'm not going to sit here and harp on it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, but bro, like,
I lost weight. Fuck you.
I'm sure you're right, man. But out of this brotherly love, man, let's lose some more.
Yeah.
And Lloyd, you're 40, man. Go get your prostate checked. Something, man. Like, have the doctor rub on your nipples or something. I don't know what they do at 40, but I knew they do more shit and more fingers go inside you. That's fine. Get that shit done, all right? So we can keep doing this for a while. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel like we're hitting a stride and I'm enjoying it. Mm-hmm. So let's keep it going. If anybody gonna die, let it be me.
Yo, hold up.
You got a kid on the way.
I don't know if he's announced that. So you just
yeah.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Oh, you announced it already?
Yeah. Everybody knows. Yeah, I just
you know I've been on. I've been like tippy toeing around that motherfucker like a motherfucker dog.
Oh yeah, I just ain't announced.
To say something the other week, and then I was like, ooh.
No, I just ain't announced the gender yet.
Yeah, you just made me shit myself. I was like, wait, no, I'm almost positive he didn't. No, wait.
I can't remember.
Going through his Facebook.
I can't remember, Zach. I can't remember. No. Yeah. No, you just popping out babies like candies, like a dickhead. Fuck.
2 kids.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I mean,
babies
like
a Pez dispenser.
Yeah.
They're like a year apart. They're 2 years apart. Exactly.
It'd be almost 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is not Irish twins over here.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot of babies.
I'm not that motherfucker.
I'm so scared of another baby. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry.
That dude
back
that
to
was
Nick
like speeding right in my lady as soon as like the gates opened back up. I was scared.
Yeah, I know. But 2 Irish twins.
You were waiting for the store to open. You were outside waiting for the store to open.
I camped out a couple of days beforehand for sure. Yeah,
I camped out a couple of days. This nigga
for sure. I treated that shit like Black Friday. I knew the exact date and time when I could shove it in, and so I was literally like, "All right, bitch."
In 5.
All right, bitch.
4.
You about to spread like the Delta variant. Let's go.
I hope your wife beats the shit out of you.
And I'm done.
Yeah, right. 10 seconds in. No. All right. So no. But yeah. Nick wasn't out of shape though, man. Nick was in good health. Like he worked out a lot of stuff. Like I think they're doing like the Nick Carthen dance right now, the dance challenge or some shit like that. But my point of saying that is like this shit is like life is one of those, or death is one of them joints that be like, yo, bitch, anybody can get it. Like y'all doing, you making all these motherfucking, everybody talking about health, and I'm gonna be honest with you, while you're alive, I think health does play a factor, right? But like when people start pushing the health for like the health versus death thing, I'm like, nigga, I know a lot of motherfuckers that make it to 60. You know what I'm saying? Like 68, that's fat. Now, after 68, I don't know that many. And if I ain't rich, I don't give a fuck. But
look, I just say,
I'm with you though. We do need to start worrying about our health for different. I'm about to go get a checkup, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were about to say you better go get a cheeseburger. I was like, okay.
Well, I had one earlier right before I came on the podcast.
Close to what I meant. That's like in the
okay. Hey.
Food. I had one right before I got on the podcast.
Food keeps you alive, I guess. Heart attack.
Still getting that bacon on my teeth right now. Fuck you.
You eat pork, you filthy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With fuck.
Yeah.
I eat pork.
You should.
This is the thing though. I caught kidney stones before when I was younger, so I don't eat a lot of pork and a lot of beef. Yeah, bro. Because no veggies. I was just eating straight like beef because I was working out again. It was right when I was working. It was right when I was working out when I was like 24.
That might have been the problem. Is you weren't eating veggies.
Yeah, I know.
And you need something to help push shit out.
Yeah.
Literal shit.
Yeah. Well, I didn't catch gallbladder stones. I caught kidneys.
Yeah.
Is kidney stones? Isn't that due to like lack of hydration?
No.
It's more of like liquid shit.
It's in your kidneys, motherfuckers.
Which I thought dealt more with liquids.
Yeah.
So it's like so like the fucked up part about kidney stones is it's kind of like hiccups. They don't know what causes it, but they know things that add to it. So like eating a lot of pork and beef that has a lot of calcium, that shit adds to it. Not drinking enough water adds to it. eating or drinking any like large amounts of calcium adds to it. Like, it's a whole rack of shit that adds to it. But you could be completely healthy and just catch kidney stones.
Okay.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's one of them things that, like, if you're doing one of these things and you catch kidney stones, you cut that shit the fuck out so you don't get them. But if you not doing any of that shit and you still catching them, like, it's just a medical thing.
How old were you when you got them?
I got my first kidney stone when I was 24, and that bitch felt like you were burning. Swear to God. It literally is, dog. When they say male pregnancy, they are not lying to you, fam. It's literally like, imagine, like, how do you explain this to people, bro? It's just, you're trying to push something through a straw. It's like trying to push a bead through a fucking straw. It can be done. It can be done, but it's going to hurt like a motherfucker.
Ooh,
yeah.
Nasty.
Yummy.
Yeah.
I don't want no part of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta drink shit tons of water. Like, you drink shit tons of water, not a lot of salt. You cut down your salt, cut down your calcium, cut down your beef, your pork intake, all that good stuff, and you'll be fine. But if not, hey, when you go to the bathroom, you're gonna be like, yo, did I fuck without a rubber? Like, what the fuck?
You should happened? Let it burn.
Yeah. No, that's what it felt like. It literally feels like. It literally felt like you had, like, you ever had sex and don't piss afterwards, and then you get that, like, they cum build up in your piss, in your urine, in your side. You know what I'm talking, Terrance.
I know what you're talking about.
You know you're supposed to piss after you bust a nut, right, Lloyd?
Yeah, because you might even get a UTI.
Yeah, you can get a UTI.
I've never got.
Did you not know this?
I heard you could.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever.
Dude, did you ever do sex? You never pissed after sex?
You never do sex. You never do sex. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, man. When you have sex, you're supposed to piss afterwards. And if you don't, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, like, if you didn't bust all of it out, like, it is shit.
Oh, yeah, no, I busted all of it. I have no problem with that. That's all 100%. Everybody out. Ejecto-cito, cuz. I'm going to see how many times I can say that today. That's two.
Sometimes you get little fellas that are like, nope, let me go back.
Yeah, you get a little couple fellas, they stick in the urinary tract. Nope. And then when you go to piss, they push out. And it's like, oh, what was that? It's not a lot. It's just like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, sometimes I have a hard time. Like, if I don't, and in the morning, it's like they got to breach the door, like the doorway in the beginning. But that doesn't hurt. It's just like, oh, it's uncomfortable. I got to clean up.
So, yeah, because it's shooting everywhere.
Right.
Now imagine, and this is what happened to me. Now imagine taking a piss, and then your joint just saying, okay, I'm done. But you can feel like you have more piss coming. So literally, that's all it was like. I was pissing. It was like,
show with your hands. Make the gestures.
No, that's the only gesture I can do. Like, it was coming out, and then it just stopped. Like, it literally hit a brick wall, and I was like, the fuck? Yeah. And the fucked up part is now, and then you know how, like, you know what I'm saying, your shit goes back. So, like, literally my shit comes back in, and it just, like, comes right back. Like, I can feel this shit. Comes back, going backwards. So I'm like, what the fuck is that? I go lay down, and this bitch is dinging all over the sides of my side. Like, every time I'm moving, because it's falling, I get, like, now I know, but I didn't know what was happening. It's like something on my back would hurt. So I would move, then something on my side would hurt. And I'd be like, what the fuck? And then something on my front would hurt, then my back would hurt. And it just kept repeating itself. Every time I would move, that shit was just like bing, 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 bing. And it's just because when this shit comes out, it looks like it looks like salt. Like, literally, it looks like salt. And it just literally bounces, but it's sharp. So it's just touching the edges of your kidney the entire time. So every time you move, it's floating in you know what I'm saying? And then you don't have to piss. And then if you do piss, like, you try to go piss, you'll get like a couple drinks out, and then it'll stop again. And you'll be like, what the fuck? So yeah, so now it's like, you gotta, like, now when I pee, like, I'm not even joking, I pee with conviction, nigga. I pee like purpose. It's the end of the world. With purpose, my guy.
Peeing with purpose.
Bro, it's like all out.
Everyone out.
So I made a TikTok about this, since we're talking about our peens.
Sure.
Am I the only fucking dude in the world that when he takes a shower, goes to dry off, I go to dry my peen, and then all of a sudden it sprays out like a little bit, like a little water pistol, like a preloaded water pistol. Like it's almost like my dick hole captures shower water and holds it like in like a little hose. So when I go to like dry, I just go to dry and it's like pew, just like a quick like. I'm telling you, man, I'm a medical fucking anomaly.
What was the next topic, bro?
Factual. Yeah. But since we're talking about dicks, let's move on to the comic that has a dick that everybody's familiar with because he was reportedly and admittedly masturbated in front of female comics with or without their permission. So there was an article done by it was Inside Hook, I believe. InsideHook.com.
Some hack comment.
Louis C.K. sarcastic sorry sign is an attempt to court the only people who will still pay him. Now, I don't want to make all kinds of assumptions or adjectives attached to or any sort of anything about the article.
Right.
I read it. I hate to form people's opinions for them, but it was fucking garbage, bro. That was the worst shit I've ever read.
I hated the article. I ain't gonna lie.
Everything about it was like
the
the authoritarian tone this wench had. Like, oh, I'm so much better. Like the hacky comic material that he does now compared to the sophisticated introspection that he previously had. Like, hey, dummy, what's sophisticated and introspective about the black dude falling asleep on a forklift? Like, the fuck are you talking about, lady?
Oh, that was a good joke.
It was a great fucking joke.
That was a good joke.
There was nothing self-introspective about it either.
No, because you see, remember I had the joke where he was like, you ever get on a plane and then there's a baby, and then like everybody's like, yo, like, can you shut that baby up? It's like, yo, motherfucker, the baby's ears is popping, like he's crying out. And then he went on a TV show and they was like, what did you come up with that joke? He was like, oh, I was that dude. I was the one that was complaining about the baby. And I had to look at myself like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like, that baby's hurting. And you're over here like, I can't get my work done.
I mean,
he did have some.
Not for nothing. He's got shows booked all the way through December 11th.
Right.
Look, read it at your own will for anybody out there listening. The entire tone was basically her saying how it's just hack material that anybody could come up with, that cancel culture and PC culture aren't real because it only sticks to people that deserve to be called out. He's only selling out to people who want to hear his racist and sexist message. There's literally like no mention of him still being an amazing joke writer, an amazing joke deliverer, and all of that. Two things can be true.
Yes. Duality.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest about this one. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And like and I know people that work with Louis. I know people that do things with Louis. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Listen, like I told y'all before, this cancel culture, when you do certain shit, sometimes people are gonna keep coming after you. Like that, like you should know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the baby ain't getting rid of this shit no time soon, fam. You know what I mean? Like, dude, R. Kelly just went to jail after 20 years of pissing on a chick in a video. That happened like 20 years ago at this point. He pissed on a chick in a video 20 years ago, and then every time something came up with R. Kelly, people brought up, yo, that he pissed on a chick. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain things when you that famous, whatever you do, bro, it's going to stick with you, my guy. Always.
But the difference is, in comedy, we don't need anything really. We just need a venue, and we don't need gatekeepers. Like, we could, which we do. It's like, hey, we're just gonna do a comedy show right here. Let's rent the place out. Let's do a comedy show. We'll take it. Either you show up or you don't show up. We don't need anyone to tell us, the heat's kind of hot on you right now. We're gonna not do anything with you. We're gonna unbook you.
Oh yeah, I do my own thing.
Yeah, Louis is gonna be okay. Tony Hinchcliffe gonna be okay. Shane Gillis is gonna be okay.
And that was one thing. So I was just telling my pops this. So my pops, like, this is why the Nick Carthen thing actually, like, messed with me so much this weekend. part of the reason why it messed with me so much this weekend. I go to drop my daughter off on Friday. When I drop my daughter off on Friday, at her grandparents' house, my father's house, father and mother's house. My father was like, "Hey man, so you still thinking about going to New York?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I don't understand why you need to go to New York. You're a producer. You do producer, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "But so you're better at producing than you are doing comedy right now, aren't you?" And I was like, "What do you mean, Pop?" He was like, "Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see you putting up all these shows. Like, your producing is doing really well, right?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, it is." And he's like, "And but your comedy, like, you're not able to do as much comedy. So why don't you just stop doing the comedy part and just focus on producing so you don't have to go to New York?" And I was like, "All right." And I had to explain this entire situation to him. And one of the parts that I was trying to explain to him, I was like, "Look, Pops, in comedy, what people don't realize is at some point you're going to have to produce. I'm just lucky that it came more natural to me than other people, but it really didn't. I was just more of a gambler. And as a gambler, we understand that, look, you make as many odds in your favor as fucking possible. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I did. I put as many things in my favor to put on these shows as possible. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't make me not a comedian or a better producer than a comedian. Like, if I become a better comedian later on down the road, guess what I'm gonna have to do? Become a good producer. Because
or at least understand how it all works.
At least, or you're just gonna keep getting robbed.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna sound like the fucking idiot online who's like, "Oh, these motherfuckers didn't motherfucking pay me without if the room had 70 people at $10 tickets. I should have got $350."
Right. Yeah. Are you drinking out of a soup cup? A to-go?
It really does look like that.
Who doesn't? What is wrong with this? You the guys are the second person that I heard. This is my iced tea container. No, I got iced tea in this.
I got iced tea.
Don't look like an iced tea.
Iced tea in here. I got coffee in here.
It's an iced tea container, bro. What are you talking about? It's the one at the carry out spots, and then they give you the iced tea in the container.
That shit looks like it was a fucking Chinese delivery of some egg foo young, is what the fuck it looks like.
Yeah.
No. What the fuck? Egg foo young doesn't come in this.
The fuck it doesn't. Egg drop.
No, it doesn't come in the clear one.
Yes,
egg foo young does not come in it. No, it doesn't. It comes in the white one, bro. And it comes with the black, the small one with the black.
Your Chinese
gravy comes in the black one.
Must be cheaping you the fuck out because that's what I get right there. That
you gotta get the whole gravy. You gotta
I get the little Tupperware afterwards because I'm white trash like that.
Nigga, my iced tea came in this. Fuck y'all both. How about that shit? I'm just telling you.
Right.
He said that ain't tea.
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole goddamn soup cup. Like
that's tea. That's the teacup, you fuck asses.
Okay. Well,
back to the point, you fuckers.
Let's we gotta get some. I'm gonna get in trouble tumblers or something for you because I can't have my partner in this business drinking out of a to-go cup.
I'm saying, man,
what's a to-go cup?
It's a to-go container.
Yo, this is
it's not a cup.
It's a cup.
First off, if you don't get those goddamn fingers out the camera, making it look like you just stayed digging in sand all day, like you see them nails look like
real shit. I gotta stop biting my nails like shit,
and it looked like you look like all he did was just dig in the sand.
That's fact
until he got to the fucking mud and just.
Are you afraid
to
the way
I really gotta stop. I really do gotta stop biting my fucking nails.
Look at those.
This shit is so bad. Why
do you get manicures and then bite your nail? Like
I don't get manicures. I get pedicures. I don't get manicures, which is where it's also bad and very weird. Because everybody,
you're just gonna get pedicures and not a manicure. You're gonna go to have somebody deal with your feet but not touch your hands.
That's real shit.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what it is? Because I bite my fingernails so much. Every time they like, "Hey, do you want to get a manicure?" I look at my fingers and I'm like,
That's why the fuck he's got to drink out of That's why he's got to drink out of that potato salad container because he ain't got no feeling in the fingertips. He's just kind of like
we just moved away.
Rough a whole goddamn thing. Like,
just like fuck that topic. Like, god damn, man, come on, back on the topic. Back on topic. All right, no, but listen. So like, yeah. The point I was making was, as a comic, you're gonna have to produce either way. right? Or you're gonna learn the business of producing, or you're gonna be sitting at home a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because when you hot, and when you fall off, like everything in life, it's either gonna burn out or it's gonna cool off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't stay hot forever.
Well, also, but you
Mims
can stay
didn't
working.
even stay hot.
You could stay
forever.
working. That's the difference.
You can stay working, but a lot of people, even with that ones that stay working a lot, unless you got a Brian Regan career, which you ain't have to be on TV for a long ass time, and you still sell out in certain cities, right? Like, you can be working, but if you know how to put on shows, you can be working a lot more. Yeah.
And that's the hardest part that I have. Is like, you're not even approaching the manager or the owner, like, hey, you want to do a comedy show? But like, how do I explain 7 people are here and 6 of them are on the show? Like, how do I explain that, after 2 weeks, I have a hard time putting on shows, or like even just thinking about putting on shows?
Now, all right. This is one of the points that I gave my pops was, look at Bill Bellamy. Like, and he was like, what has Bill Bellamy done? I was like, besides sell out everywhere that he fucking goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bill Bellamy still puts on his own shows and gets paid by other people to put on shows. Like, look at Talent. Talent gets paid by other people to put on shows, and then he still puts on his own shows. Like, it's a lot of working comics who put on their own shit, because if you don't, it's like, yeah, you have your areas that you know what I'm saying, you get bigger in. And those places, in those areas, you don't have to risk your money. But in certain areas, it might not be a lot of people that know who you are, or it might be more beneficial for you to put it on as yourself. But the king of it all is James Brown. That's the king. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever watched James Brown movie?
No.
For real? Oh my fucking God, you niggas gotta watch that shit. First off, it opens up with this motherfucker shooting off a shotgun in the middle of like an office building, and cops coming because somebody took a shit in his house. Swear to God, you gotta watch this fucking movie, right?
So before I'm trying to digest what you said. So if I sell well in a city, wouldn't I just want to put my own show on? And then when I don't sell well in this, hold on. And if I don't sell well in a city where nobody knows me, I want to take somebody else's money. I want them to take that risk. So
what's going to wind up happening is, if you in a city that you don't sell well, why the fuck would I book you? You don't sell well here. So if you want to start selling well there, then you put on your own shit and you put on your own promotion. And you know what I'm saying? And then you find out for yourself. Is it the promoter that's promoting me in this city, that's why I'm not selling well? Or is it the club? The club sucks, that's why I'm not selling well? Or is it just me? You get what I'm saying? So you take the risk. But in cities that you already sell well, that's less money that you have to put up towards them. Yeah, somebody else makes a little bit more money. Okay. They're not making that much more unless you know what I'm saying? Unless you like a no name. Like, if you like, this is my thought process. Like, if I don't sell, it does, but it doesn't. It does, but it's like it's one of them drinks. It's like, if you look at it, it makes sense on the surface, but when you start boiling into the numbers, it doesn't. Okay. Because if you look into it, like, put it like this, right? All right. Say let's use our 3 cities, right? DC, Vegas, Omaha, right? And DC, the show might cost me $2,000 to put on. Okay. In Omaha, that same show might cost me $500 to put on. And in Vegas, that show might cost me $1,500 to $3,000. Depending on the place, right? Sure. Let's say $1,500. All right, cool. So the whole trip right now is $4,000, right? But if in DC, in Omaha, even though that place only costs $500, somebody's willing to guarantee me $4,000 just to come to Omaha. Well, his $4,000 just paid for DC and Vegas. That's what I'm saying. So now I don't have to put up any money. So I'd rather take Omaha's money to pay for DC and Vegas rather than take my own money, and then now I got to put up $4,000 and wait for the money to come back. I think that's what I was trying to say. It's like, let me take like a smaller market. Let me take somebody else's money, and then a bigger market like DC. Like, we don't need a promoter. We'll do it ourselves. Right. But that's market. That's what I'm saying. When you said you didn't say market at first. You said if I'm selling well in one city. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But if you're in New York, like New York's the biggest market. You don't go to New York and put on your own show when somebody's willing to pay you. You tripping. You take especially if they're gonna pay you around the same amount that you was gonna make anyway. Motherfucker, give me the I need the emails and I lose out on. I don't lose because I didn't have it in the first place. I lose out on maybe $200 or you know what I'm saying, depending on how big of a person you are. Like maybe like I lose out on $500, but I didn't have to risk it at all. You know what I'm saying? On a show.
Right.
And now I can take that money and pay for other shows down the line. Like this, you gotta look like everybody don't look at the long run of this shit. And it's kind of hard to because you get nigga, you don't understand. I was over Corey's house crying yesterday, bro. Like, nigga, like this shit gets to you sometimes. Like, if this Delta variant comes into play, I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? Not like fucked where I'm, you know what I'm saying? But I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? I do all the money at it. So it's like it either works or it doesn't at this point. Like I got people, I got my boss texting me now talking about, do you want to work extra hours and what's exactly. I had a whole conversation about that shit, and I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna leave this one alone. But that's the name of our game, bro. Like nobody will ever understand our fucking business. You know what I'm saying? And then half the people in our business don't understand our business. So you gotta learn how to produce. Louis C.K. was one of the first people to fucking put out his own special on his own fucking website that he taped him with his own fucking money.
$5, just give me the $5.
He was like, yo, I make $5 off of every CD anyway.
Yep.
Every time they sell these fucking whistles, I make $5. So why wouldn't I just make the fucking $5? Boom.
And you get all the emails.
You get all of the fucking emails.
Every single email.
Like, yeah, this dude fucking jerks off on his stomach like a fucking what we thought what's his name? Harvey Weinstein looked like. Like but at the same time, like this dude he's kind of smart. So it's like take the good, take the bad, whatever. But this stupid ass article, I don't know about it, man. Y'all go ahead.
It's really just like a non-starter. Like when, like Loy said, duality. When you can't acknowledge the other side, you've clearly shown whatever bias you are, and you're not being honest, and it's a dishonest article. I'd be more inclined to say, hey, you had something to say if she were like, hey, look, the shame comedian, whatever, but he's selling out. Like, just acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why acknowledging that somebody was funny, somebody had an impact on whatever landscape that they were in, like those aren't true things. They both are true things.
Both things can be because they're going to keep pushing. Like I said, they're going to always put that boy down, man. They always going to put Louis down. Forever, bro. Every time he do something, they're going to be like, yeah, you remember when he was jerking off in front of bitches? Like, no, that's what we do.
It caused the scene here in my scene over the Facebook group because, you know, we have the comedy club out here. And at the comedy club out here that he recently headlined, and there was some people that were protesting, including some within the scene. And so some within the scene were jumping into the group, and then basically there were a couple that stated that they'd hoped that COVID would finish the club out and put them out of business. That the club doesn't do anything for women. Women don't win any of their competitions, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, I mean, if all you cared about was getting your message across, you did that. I don't know that was the message that you probably necessarily wanted to put out, but you did.
I think
it's funny how we're just gonna. It's funny how we're just gonna eat our own shit. Like we are just proposed to eat our own babies. It's fucking wild.
Snake eating its tail.
It's like here in Vegas. I understand that some people are like, well, fuck that club or fuck that venue or whatever, because we've got 7 other venues. But if you're in a small market, even in DC, it's like, yeah, I hope that whatever the fucking Chuckle Hut fucking closes down. Well, guess what? That Chuckle Hut is literally one of 3 other places. Like you are cutting your legs out from under you.
It doesn't bode well for comedy in your scene.
Yeah, I've never understood. I never understood people that want to shut down clubs, but I do also, and I think, how do I formulate this? I think bad clubs should go away. With that being said, what the fuck is a bad club?
I think bad club owners should go away.
But what is a bad club owner? right? Like if the club is making money, is he a bad club owner? If the club has people in there, is he a bad club owner?
It's like
no.
porn. You can't define it, but you know it.
But what if exactly? It's like no, like if the club is packed always, but he never has a female headliner, is he a bad club or is he a businessman? You know what I'm saying? Or is he's a dickhead who doesn't like women? All right, if the club is packed and he only uses gay LGBTQ community people, but the club is packed all the way, like is he a good club owner or is he a bad club owner because now he's segregating other people? Like
Why is it going to be a he? Women can't be club owners?
First off, the biggest.
Why is it got to be a woman? Why is it got to be a woman?
Don't ever try that shit, Lloyd.
You said it. You said it.
Don't ever try that shit, Lloyd. Fuck you. You're not gonna have.
What if it was a they?
Out of the fucking cellar.
What if it was a they?
Talking about.
What if it was a they that did it? Both of y'all should be ashamed. What if it was a they?
It is a they that owns a club, so don't try me, fucking Terrance. Either way that I was trying
You're stuttering over yourself. You look like you're hiding something.
Just read the statement, bro.
Yeah.
No, fuck both of you. So the point I was making was,
yes,
what is a good club owner? What is a bad club owner? All depends on the audience. Depends on the people that are buying the tickets from the place. You know what I'm saying? Like it really does. It depends on who's buying the tickets from the motherfucking place.
So, when I lived in Albuquerque, right before I moved there, they had a club open and close like in the same weekend. Like it was something about the owner, not a good guy, something horrible. Wasn't there, didn't see any of it, but that was the only comedy club in Albuquerque. So there is 0 clubs in Albuquerque, and you're looking at a place that's got 300 to 500,000 people. Not a single comedy club. So
yeah, but it's a reason for that too. It costs a shit ton of money to get to Albuquerque.
True.
It's out there.
Because it's a reason for that. Listen, a comic there's a lot of comics that want to get in front of people. But let's just be honest. If I gotta pay $3,000 to get on a flight to Albuquerque,
but
I'm not gonna do it.
We're not far from El Paso, not far from Denver. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, the people that wanted that club, the people that wanted the club shut down, shut it down. Now, where are you going to be seen by a traveling headliner that could potentially put you in a position?
So hold up, was it the comics that was doing it?
I wasn't there.
Damn, bro. No. I mean, like we have that shit in Baltimore right now. You had that shit in DC at certain points in times. Like Stacey Carver was talking about, a club out here that, like that won't be named, but everywhere you go, bro, you see comics trying to shut down clubs, and it's a twofer, right? Like it's literally sometimes there are evil people that are doing things for the wrong reason. That good people do those same things for the right reason, but it's the same exact thing.
But you kind of have
and
to.
A lot of people don't know that.
You kind of have to. For me, it's like, well, yeah, he's whatever, piece of shit. Run it horrible, but for me, it's like if this is the only show in town.
Yeah, but then he becomes a gatekeeper, right? Because it's like if you're the comedy club if you're the only comedy club in town, what winds up happening is that if anybody ever comes to that town, they like, oh, well, this is the comedy club to go. You gain influence over that market.
So to have a gate with a gatekeeper is one thing. To have no gate, no gatekeeper is a completely different other conversation.
True. Because that's the thing, right? Like still, even especially in the digital age, you still have that opportunity to reach out and touch whoever comes in the headline and say, hey, can I get a guest spot? Can I
That's
open?
So normal.
It's not something that I see rewarded often, but I do see at least more responses than nothing. I've seen more responses to that than I have responses to fucking clubs about performing.
Oh! You didn't win the contest, so I can't have you do a guest spot. You didn't.
No, I never had.
Yeah.
I never had that. If I ask for a guest spot, I normally get it. It's when I ask for my feature spots. That's when it's like, and I'm still booked up for the month.
Yeah, I just think that it's that dual edge of like gate with a gatekeeper, no gatekeeper, but no gate. Where as an artist, where as a person coming up, do I have to move? You shouldn't have to move. You shouldn't have to move from where you are to get good at what you're doing. You shouldn't.
But this is where that shit.
But whoa.
No. Wait. So this is where that shit comes into the whole promoting, right? Which is where I said, Eddie, you always talk about don't go my path, don't go my path. I think your path is more normal than what you ascribe it to. Maybe just because of your whole like, I don't fuck with this person, but even still, I'd venture to say it's probably a lot more normal and probably the path that more comics should be going than don't. Because of the simple fact you do, especially if you have a decent sized scene that's already somewhat established, you have a fuck of a time just trying to get time even on open mics because you'll get bumped.
No.
You got to go to bringers. You got to do everything.
You know why?
Else. So putting on your own shows makes sense in a lot of aspects.
No.
Okay,
like, I mean, so the the biggest one, like, fuck Sean Joyce if that's what you wanted, but the point that I'm making, like, I don't give a fuck, still coupon code. So the point that I'm making is, I told somebody else that shit. I was like, I really don't like this nigga.
I like it.
No, all right. The point that I'm making about producing your own shows, right? What people do when they produce their own shows is, if you become a better producer, or if you start getting people out, you start thinking that the shit that you do is okay. And that's the biggest one behind it, right? So you don't grow as a comic. And then you have people that come to you and they're going to be like, hey, you're a better producer than you are a comic. Why don't you just produce? And that's what happens a lot. Because you can't focus on both. So
but then you could be in the other fucking side of the fence to where you're funny and they tell you just be funny, and then you're stuck with 400 followers on Instagram, 20 likes at any given fucking whack because you can't crack the ceiling because you can't promote.
That's false. That's false.
I'm going to go with, how do you take control? How do you take control of your choices? Not the choices that you choose, but the choices that you're given. And I think that learning to produce a show, if you got all of the sets that you ever wanted, but you weren't in front of anybody, are you going to be faster are you going to get better faster than being in front of people at other people's I don't know what the answer is, but I'm going to take control of my destiny as much as I possibly can. Because
it's still stage time, right? Like, I have performed in front of a fucking venue with literally no people. It was the fucking bartender, but in my mind, it was still stage time. It was still working the craft. It was still something to, like you said, Eddie, right? Hopes and dreams. That's what we operate off of. Maybe this will one day pay off. And I've got to personally, because I did a lot of the same things. I did kind of try to navigate the open mics, try to crack in with this or that and get in with certain people, and it didn't work. And it was like, all right, I've got to start putting on my own mics. I guess I put on my own shit.
So all right. So listen, man. This is what it boils down to. I'm so sorry that people feel this way and they don't understand it. One, nobody knew you, right? Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. Nobody remembers people for the first year in comedy in the fucking first place, right? So what has to happen is you have to keep going to these fucking mics, and then you know what you do? You study, right? You study who's good, who's bad. You study what's making them good. You study what's making them bad. And when you can get on stage and you try to implement that shit. And you keep fucking doing it. And you grind this shit the fuck out.
Yeah, but Terrance is not new. Terrance is not new.
This is the point that I'm making. This is the point I'm making to you, bro. But Terrance started his first room 2 years in. Right?
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Again, that's the route I'm saying. That, again, there's no correct way. I'm saying that, like, if people ask me for advice, this is the things that I tell them. I don't say that this is a thing that everybody should adhere to. I'm just saying, like, if you're asking my advice, you need to take your ass to open mics 5-6 nights a week. You know what I'm saying? Fucking get in front of as many people as you possibly can. Yo, ask the bigger producers, hey, how can I help out? Just asking. I remember a lot of people that asked me, how could they help me, that actually helped me. You get what I'm saying? Like, just because, like, yo, how can I help out? Like, I would love to help you out at some time, right? All right, cool. Me. I'll be such place. Majority of the time, and loyalty, I don't even tell people the first two times that they ask me, You got to ask me 3 because I want to know if you're serious about this shit. Because everybody tell you they'll help you, and then when you know what I'm saying, give them some shit, they ain't fucking in.
Everybody wants to help out right now so they can get on the stage
right now. No, nigga, like I don't know you. Yeah. I don't know you, and I'm and depending on what producer you go to, depends on what shows you can get on, right? So if I don't know you, and every time I see you, again, you flopping, then motherfucker, you got to go back to the drawing board. So it's like it's better to work your way up in a scene, or you can go to a bigger scene. Like it doesn't really matter. That's up to you. But you got to be honest with yourself. Are you doing comedy because you want to be a comedian? Are you doing comedy because you want more friends? Are you doing comedy because you want money? And that all of those answers might overlap each other, but they ain't the same. You feel what I'm saying? Like they're not the same. I wanted to always be on stage. You know what I'm saying? And I luckily fell into comedy. You know what I mean? Like whatever I make from this, as long as I can support my family, I'm good. Like just being dead ass and honest. But going out here and producing your own shows before you're ready as a comic, only thing that shit is going to do to you is inflate your ego to think that you're better than you are.
I think that if you run your own shows and you know that, hey, I have a huge gap to cover before I can actually be on my own show that I'm making, and you make all the provisions, which a lot of people don't. But if I'm like, hey,
nobody does. I didn't do that shit.
And this is the conversation that I would have. If you go, hey, how do I get into comedy? I want to produce shows. Okay, well, produce shows, but hire all of the people that you need to be in front of to get better. That's what I would do. Hire a headliner. Give yourself the one spot. Not the host, not the headline, not the feature. You go, hey, I'm going to hire everybody, and I'm just going to do my shit.
Right.
That would be what I recommend. Because if you can't get on the open mic, okay, how do you get better? Well, if you can't get on the open mic, fucking run your own show. But give yourself the time allotted that you deserve, which might only be 5-minute guest spot.
5-minute guest spot.
But see, and that's where I felt like I've always been a little bit different and do march to the beat of my own drum, is because when I did the shows, I wanted to stay relegated to just 5 or hosting. Right. For that exact reason, was because my entire intent was to give me a place to perform, give other people a place to perform, but guarantee me a spot to keep going and grow how I needed and wanted to grow. I had no hosting experience at that point, so I wanted to work on that, and I wanted to keep working on my 5. Right. But I've never been a tight 5 guy. I think even 8 years in, I don't have a tight 5. Like I can do a solid 5, several different solid 5s, but I don't have that one go-to hardcore 5 because everything I did in the beginning was bringer shows, and all I had was fucking friends. And I'm not like, oh, I'm going to bore you out with the same 5 minutes of material for my first year. So that's why I say, like, I think your advice, man, I get it. It's your advice, but shit's different.
No,
nowadays,
so
bro.
It's not. And I'm going to tell you why, right? And this is why, this is one of them things. It looks like my service is fucking up.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You're looking like Patrice O'Neal circa 2002.
Fuck and what did I tell you about that sand digging finger, bro? Like
when did the Montreal
you just chipped away at your nerve endings in those fingers, bro? Like what the fuck?
Hate you so much.
I mean,
you can still hear me, right?
You look like you just like tap on the table for no reason. Like you just sit here like
for the first time this whole show, we can't see your cuticles, which is great. Your cuticles are an 8-bit.
I was gonna say they actually look like they're in decent shape. You go back to high def, you're like, damn, he's just straight chewed them bitches to the nub.
They look like Super Mario cuticles.
Motherfucker got Johnsonville sausages on the end, just burnt.
I hate you so much. So the point this is the point I'm making. All right, boom. All right. The bringer shows.
I'm tired of being made fun of. I want to finish the point.
No, because we want to move on. We're already on for an hour.
Yeah, we want to move on because I'm tired of getting my feelings hurt.
He can't feel anything out of it. He can't feel any of his feelings in his fingers.
I'm not hurting my feelings, motherfucker. I was actually doing something else. The point I was making was
pervert.
No, dickhead, running a show. Anyway, so the point I was making is bringer shows. This is why I don't like them as much, because they don't explain to people what a bringer show is, actually why they actually created it. Bringer show wasn't created for you to bring your family and friends. The bringer show is created as a bar. Like you're supposed to learn to bark. Like you're supposed to bring people in. You could, if you go, like it's certain places in New York, right, that it's not bringer shows, but you got to bark. You got to be able to sell 5 tickets to get on the show, right? And that was like you paying your dues. That's you paying your dues so that you can be on the show, right? Now you can cheat that shit and just get your family and friends to buy it.
Yep. And that's
or you can go out and actually go out and try to find an audience to come to the show to see you perform. You see what I'm saying? Now, is it right? Depends on the person.
Right.
Depends on the person, depends on the place.
It sucks.
It's a lot of different factors and that shit.
I think it's horseshit. I'll say it. I think it's horseshit.
Bringer shows are horseshit.
I'm very
If
much.
If you tell me I gotta bring 5 people,
I think it's horseshit. I think it's horseshit.
But on the high level is like when you are the headliner, you have to bring people. Like that's you got to.
No, that's not on the high level. That's on every level. Sure, the kicker is that clubs, the people who started this shit was the clubs, right? They were the ones that started the bringers because they were like, listen, bro, nobody wants to fucking see you.
Yep.
So what I'm not about to do is bring my whole staff here to see you perform, and they don't make any fucking money. So they just did it for free. Because you ain't bring anybody, like nobody wanted to see you. You didn't bring anybody. So this is what y'all gotta do. Y'all need to get people in the building for me to be able to have a show. Y'all figure that part out, and then I'll have a show. But what I'm not about to do is to promote some open micer whose jokes I don't know that also doesn't, you know what I'm saying, doesn't understand what a fucking light is, or that he's supposed to do his 5 minutes at this particular time and be done by this particular time. Like. He doesn't know when to stop talking over the laughs and blah, 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 blah. Like, again, there are evil people that do the same things that good people do for the right reasons, right? Like, it's one of those things. Like, that's where the bringer and the barker came from.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? So they're not bad ideas, but people use them for just to make money, and then that fucked everything up.
And that's my thing, right? The idea can be whatever it is, but we're no longer in the idea. We operate in the real world, and the real world is that shit is predatory as fuck. Because look at it, man, like any club, name a club. I mean, well, don't name a club. We don't need to right now. But you can name a club that does fucking their bringer shows. They're predatory, bro. They're constantly sharking the local open mics and talking to young comics like, hey, you got this. Why don't you come out and do this? Come on, man, like you've been there, right? Or at least been around that shit, seen it to where you're like, oh, this kind of confirms what I was thinking. I do have the chops. I can make this like.
I never did a bringer show.
I've done one bringer show, but my issue that I have with bringer shows is that people got to pay to show up, right? So you know, I got 5 people paying $10 a piece, $50 to sit through a marathon of open micers.
What the fuck? Because you have no idea what level you're gonna get. No idea.
You don't know what kind. So my issue is this: I'm perfectly okay with selling tickets, knowing that the show is gonna be, on fire. The show is worth the $10 that you're paying. But at a bringer show, I can't guarantee anything. And you're gonna see me. You're gonna pay $10 to see me do 5 minutes. Like that's not a fucking. That's a horrible business model. Yeah. You're gonna lose family members. You're gonna lose friends. Quick.
No. It's so many things against it, and I'm with you, Terrance. So there's so many things against it. But we had the owner of Legends on. I don't know if you remember this shit, Lloyd. You couldn't make the interview, and he said, and we were like, "Yo, man, like, how come that there's no?" We were talking about open mics, and I was like, "There's no urban open mics, because every urban open mic." People got to pay for, and he put that shit in such great words. He said basically, the venue still has to get paid. It doesn't matter. Like no venue. Like what happens at mainstream clubs or mainstream rooms is they happen in certain bars that people are like, okay, I'll make the money off the drinks. What happens
because they're already frequented.
They already frequented. The urban rooms, on the other hand, not so much. So to do an urban open mic, it's no guarantee that these people are going to drink. So I had to bring in my entire staff just to motherfucker have this show. And then nobody drank here. Nobody got anything. And then I'm fucked. So this is what you can do. If you want to do an open mic or some shit, then y'all get a few people to put up $200 You know what I'm saying? Collect a couple of dollars and get to 200 and put it on the show, and then I can do you know what I'm saying, open mic for free. Other than that, I can't do that because I'm losing money.
We had a fight in our comedy scene over some shit like that because it was an urban room that had that thing. It was a $5 cover, and it's one of those things that if you don't get it, you won't get it. You have to be around the more urban rooms to understand why it is that way. Because even just saying it might not make sense to some folks.
Yeah, but that's urban rooms. A lot of these guys didn't start with a lot of this money. And I'm not saying every mainstream room did. I'm being on a scale. A lot of the urban rooms didn't start with a lot of money. So if they don't have no money coming in, they can't open this fucking room up.
They don't stay.
Not for no comedy. When I know I can probably make money on this side. Yeah. Now, it is also a lot of people who don't understand business. And then that's a totally different conversation.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? That's a totally different conversation, right? Like and this is one of the things that I do, like I sit all the businesses down that I work with and I try to explain it to them. And if they get it, they get it. And some of them have not gotten it, right? They haven't gotten it. Me and Lloyd used to run a room called the Top House on 14th Street.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You remember that shit?
Yep.
And so like this is like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Columbia Heights. And the room had all of these taps, right? It was a tap room. It had 44 taps or some crazy shit. And we would put on the comedy show. And we had to explain to the guy there, we was like, listen, you're going to pay us to put on this open mic. We're going to put on an open mic, right? People are going to show up. We don't know who's going to show up, but they're just going to show up, right? But we're going to advertise your venue, okay? So you're not paying us for the open mic. You're paying us to advertise your venue. And the reason why we're advertising your venue is that hopefully that people will come on this random Tuesday night that we have this show. But what you're going to see is because we put open mic, everybody's not going to come for the open mic part. They might come for lunch. They might come for early, for happy hour. They might come for late night. Not everybody's going to come for the open mic part. But we just promoted your venue. And by promoting your venue, more people are going to come or frequent your venue. Our shows, I think we had shows that had like 5-6 people there. And they continually paid us because in the daytime, they were making more money. Like, and he had to explain it to the owner, like, no, we make more money when they have shows, even if it's not on the day of the show. Even if it's not at the time of the show, it's kind of weird, but we promote. And so that's the business element of it. It's like urban comics and urban rooms, like tell these people this. Listen, bro, be upfront and honest. I don't know how many people are going to come to this shit. It might not be anybody. State Fair. Let's talk about State Fair in Catonsville. We used to have nobody at that show. Me and Lloyd used to go there every day just to drink Heinekens. Heinekens and Yingling.
And we would do 15, 20 minutes ourselves.
Because no comics would show up, right? And so then and people were like, yo, like, why y'all keep doing that show? I'm like, dude, I know it's going to hit at some point. You know what I'm saying? Pandemic's over. We got 200 people out there because we kept advertising the business and kept advertising that we were going to be doing it, right? Yep. And what we didn't know at that time that I had to find out after the last situation with them, right? That they was still doing better numbers on the days that we had shows because we were promoting the venue. You get what I'm saying? And so that's business. If you could go to a place and be like, hey, look, what's y'all slow night? Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Cool. Hey, give me a budget. Out of that budget, I'm going to promote the venue and a comedy show. I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. When we start this comedy show, everybody's not going to come to it, okay? It's not going to be a lot of people there on the first couple shows. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? But if you pull your numbers for the day, I guarantee you're going to start seeing an increase on your numbers for the day. Just simply because we're promoting your establishment. And people might not want to come for comedy because some of the people that might see this advertisement might not give a fuck about comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Just be enough that sparks it, and you're like, I want to go there, not because of the comedy.
Exactly.
I want to go check out what kind of beer they have on.
So when you do their salad like? So what the fuck do you need a bringer show? You don't need a bringer show. You need to learn how to promote.
I wish I would have known 8 fucking years ago, Eddie. So thanks for telling me 8 years late.
Motherfucker, listen. I learned this shit from spending thousands of dollars putting on shows. I'm fucking like what the fuck? If it wasn't a podcast, I wouldn't be telling the motherfuckers that's listening. What the fuck are you talking about?
See, look at that, getting free fucking nuggets from the promoter man himself.
Yo, all right, let's go to the next. Let's get to this next topic because this one I really wanted to talk about. This one I really wanted to talk about. Damon Wayans.
Did you listen to the audio?
What's a versus battle with Dave Chappelle?
Did you listen to the audio?
Yo!
Did you listen to the audio?
Nah, I didn't listen to the audio. I ain't give a fuck with the audio. I just read the shit and I was like, I read that shit and I was like, let's go, son.
Doesn't do it justice. Listen to the audio.
Okay.
How is it better than that Don Cheadle?
Smooth David Wayans wasn't there. He said, like, without skipping a beat, literally, like the moment they stopped asking the question, he started that. Like there was no hesitation. The moment she said, "Who would you do a versus against?" Chappelle. Like it was like against Chappelle.
But how would you? All right. So now this is my thing. How would you do it? Like, do we go specials for special? Because you can't do live stand up and stop and then whistling. Like, you can't do a Kumite on that level of.
Maybe
you could. Sure, you
no, don't do that. No.
Bit for
Damon
bit.
wins. Yeah, Damon wins. Damon beats Dave Chappelle fast, bro. No, I'm sorry, fam. Like
whether he breaks out specials or bit for bit, Damon Wayans wins this.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Promise you not. No, promise you not.
Damon Wayans used to walk dudes, man.
What Damon joke? First off, how many Damon jokes do you know?
None whatsoever.
But the Wayans, all of the Wayans are heavy hitters. All of the Wayans are heavy hitters.
Listen, if you're doing it on a live, right? If they did it like how Jadakiss punked the shit out of Dipset, like if they're doing it like that, Damon wins, right? But if you're doing special where they just like, all right, play the clip. Like I'm not doing this with this guy. Play the clip, and they went clip for clip. Dave has a really good shot. Damon's gonna win on performance art and energy, but overall joke is gonna go to Dave.
I don't know, man.
I mean, even if you pull the transcript here, read this transcript of the joke. I think Dave wins, but clip for clip, it's gonna be super tight.
The only thing you can honestly say is that Damon will have likely dated material. If they go special, I'm saying if they go special for special and bit for bit, then it goes without question. Chappelle.
You gotta understand, Damon Wayans was Damon Wayans before Dave Chappelle was doing comedy. Like,
yes,
no, I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. That dude was walking people because he could do 4 to 5 hours like without breaks. Like there's stories out there for where he would walk crowds and managers and everybody at the store and other places because he would just get up there and go.
Yeah, then they stop allowing him to go up there. But Eddie Griffin used to do that shit too. Like my point. Dave
Chappelle does it now.
Dave Chappelle does it now. Like they all do it. My point is, it's always the black guys.
CPT. Which light was that? Was that my light? Yeah, that was the 5-hour light. You've been
up here for a minute. No. Fuck.
What's shade of red?
I'm just saying that I don't think Damon. I think Damon only has like 2 specials. 1 special.
I think 2.
I gotta look it up because I don't want to lie about this. But I don't remember his specials ever being.
I think
put up there. You know what I'm saying?
If you do live performance, tit for tat, Kumite style, I would like to see Damon Wayans versus Jamie Foxx. That's what I would like to see.
No. Oh, tit for tat. Yeah. The Last Stand. That was the one I remember. 2
mics, 1 stage. Go. Jamie Foxx is gonna be scary.
But see, like, which one of them interrupts the other? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them niggas is interrupting the other nigga. Like, actually, every joke,
yeah,
they're gonna interrupt each other. So that's why I say it got to go clip for clip.
I almost see it being like they get 1 or 2 jokes in, and then it's an ongoing joke, and it's like the last joke is repeated, callbacked, referenced for another hour.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we could do that. I think if you did a comedy versus battle, it has to be without an audience. That's first off.
Yeah.
It has to be the live show. No, it has to be live. It has to be live.
No, it's like, but it can't be like a live before. Like, why would I want to see Damon Wayans standing on a stage by himself, like with another, and just listen to clips? That's boring.
No, it's not. No, dude. First off, dog. Listen. First off, y'all gotta watch. You never watched Damon's special. Damon, The Last Stand. He did. It's where is it at?
What is he wearing?
It's the hat. It's when he was.
Yeah.
It was a hat, but he looks young as fuckballs. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find it on YouTube.
The Last Stand.
It was his HBO. Yeah, it was his HBO special.
Yeah, that's iconic. This shit is iconic as shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like
I haven't listened to it forever, man.
He hasn't put out a special in a long ass time, bro. That was my point.
He stayed writing. Like he stayed writing. He stayed behind like the movie scene and the producing for his sons and shit. Like,
but he still does comedy. He still goes out.
He's still traveling.
No, like I said, he was just at Magoobies. Yeah, I think his special's up on YouTube. Right? Yeah, his special's up on YouTube. The whole special's on YouTube right now. Yeah,
he's at the Haha Cafe all the time. Just working out for no goddamn reason. Just working out.
No, he's working on a special.
Okay.
John Conroy just worked.
Yeah, because Marlon put out his at the MGM there in Oxon
he just put out another one.
And I remember Damon was out traveling for one around that time that he had put one out. Him being Marlon, but this is
that's the half hour special ones. You remember when they was like HBO was doing these joints.
Mm-hmm. 22 minutes of content, please.
Yes.
Yeah, but his was an hour. That's what I'm saying. It was the still. I wish y'all could hear the joint because Damon's special was fucking fire. It wasn't. I won't sit here and try to act like it's a Kevin or a or even from that day Martin, like a Martin special. It was a good special. It was a really good special. Now, could he beat Chappelle? I think he could, bro. But not on a commentate. Like I don't think he can't do the. I don't think it would be good for either of them to be on the stage at the same time trying to do jokes back and forth because they're just gonna interrupt each other, and then it's gonna be like, all right, who wins? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's Styles makes fights, right? And I think that Dave Chappelle has a completely starkly different style. It's more modern, more alt room style, where Damon Wayans has got that old school BET comic view, Def Jam, boom, 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 non-stop.
That on point style, yeah.
Well, and then he does have more animation to him. He's always had a little bit more animation to him, where Dave's more of that sage type oracle, like or orator. I mean, and
orator.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I just love, you got to listen to the audio, man. Listen to his confidence and the way he talks about it. I fucking love it. Like, I was like, oh shit. He just said it so quick, like without question. It's like he either knew that question was coming or he didn't care. He's like, I'm going for the GOAT.
Ask any fighter. He knows who's carrying the belt. He knows who's the champ right now. Who you want to fight? Pacquiao.
Yep.
Who do you want to fight? Francis Ngannou. Like, it's right off the bat. You know who's the top.
Yep, I agree. Go for the top, baby.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I didn't know if my internet came back in. I can't wait for it. If it happens, I swear to God, I know. I was looking up. I said, "Oh, my internet went out. I'm gonna shut up."
we're just waiting. We're all looking at you like.
I was looking at you. I was like, okay, I guess he's just giving us an awkward ass pause. Yeah, okay.
I know.
You can't like. Yeah, because you can't ever tell, like, with Eddie, because the way his eyes are, like, you don't know if he's, like, reading something off on the side or if he's just being Eddie. Like, okay.
Eddie's doing his taxes right now.
Are you making fun of my eyes, dog?
Hey, guys. Yeah.
Well, hey.
I couldn't tell if my screen goes up.
Terrance, fucking relax.
Relax. I was doing Eddie.
That's why I'm mad with it. That's why I'm mad with it. Straight out the trap with it. Whatever you want, whatever you need. I'm just on tab, get it. That's why I'm mad with it. That's why I'm mad with it.
That's where I'm at.
Okay, you
Nobody hit the end. Nobody's hit the end. It's
No.
Nah, because I just wanted to see you cuss out Terrance for a second.